Hi folks, Professor Diffley, History 100, Chapter 4. This is Lecture Video 3, last one for this. Just want to be a little briefer. So we left off last time. I began on this slide here, or ended on this slide with Diogenes and cynicism. Cynic means like a dog, so this is a little different when it means cynic today. This argued for self-sufficiency and simplicity. The story of Diogenes and the Drink Boy is Diogenes, who's we could see here living on the streets in his big barrel of wine here. Believe was that he thinks he has the most simple life there, but then then he sees a boy drinking from a river, puddle of water with his hands. Diogenes realizes that he is not doing things simply enough because he's using a cup and that. He also argued that what is natural is good, so we shouldn't have shame. So public sex, public defecation, all these things should be done there. We shouldn't shame ourselves. So that's why cynic means like a dog, that a dog has no shame. And you can read more about this there. More pictures of Diogenes there. Another one of him living with the dogs. You can see like a dog there. Religious change. People were really worried about luck or chance. This idea that really couldn't control the world. There's wars. There's all these things. And so we need protection from this. And so they start to look even for more and more gods and goddesses and more protections, ways to find this. So that is something that they really, really look for. Even the Romans will do this. I would argue some people do this today. And again, they start, the cult of Isis or Isis, a mother goddess, became most popular female divinity in the Mediterranean world. She protected against Tyche, could even cheat death and fate, or provide personal purification, birth and rebirth. It's interesting. Some would argue this is the origins of the belief in the Christian Easter. You can see that some will say in some of the pagan symbols that have survived on Easter, there's eggs and bunnies and chicks and things like that. They're supposed to represent rebirth. And in the main Christian religions, they still celebrate Easter on or around where the cult of Isis did. But that's that's just the history of it. It doesn't mean it's, totally influences. But, again, you can see that. And take a look there. There's also this new rule, focus on ruler cults. Hellenistic kings would try to elevate themselves as rulers. As gods almost. Within the Ptolemaic, and they have recognition of leaders' beneficence, helping the regular people. It's also people trying to flatter the king to get more favors. Belief was that the kings were so powerful and wealthy that people depended on them as they did gods. Others would say these were kings. The kings were gods sent to earth as saviors against evil. All these things. They started to really rise themselves up as these gods and whatever. They also had trying these new tools and sciences. The problem is they tried all these sciences. They had the ideas there. They just didn't have the tools to get there yet to create a lot of the stuff they wanted. The Tower of the Winds, trying to understand the seasons, things like that. You have Archimedes and them who start moving water uphill, all these other things that are talked about in the book there. The Hellenistic world really is a changing point where you get all these knowledge from other places back and forth, sharing, coming together. So even though Alexander brings lots and lots of death and destruction around the world, in that video on Alexander the Great, you'll see that there is, do we look at him as a hero? Is he a bloodthirsty conqueror? Was he trying to create a new world? Maybe a little bit of everything. But then again, did kill a lot of people as a result, and then the wars created by those afterwards made even more people suffer. But unless we try to take some good out of that. But you could see, again, especially the Tower of the Winds and all that, make sure to take a look in the text and all that. So, all right, again, that is it for this chapter here. Don't forget to really look at these videos here on Plato and Aristotle and others. The nature of reality, again, with Plato's allegory of the cave, the virtue theory idea. Quick thing on virtue theory, just a simple part of this is, Aristotle believed that virtue, there are certain things we should try to achieve, to be good people, but it took practice. And then it was, dependent on the situation that you were in there. And so we're trying to find this golden mean of this takes practice. We grow as people, things like that. This is a really good video on Alexander the Great. This is an excellent video on Stoicism. Really make sure you look at this because this is the best one. Your book does a pretty good job, but this video really captures it. So, again, I really rely on the videos this week, as always, but especially on Plato, Aristotle, and the others. All right, folks, that is it for this. As always, if you have any questions, just let me know. Get in touch with me. All right. Thanks, folks. And email is the best way, especially this week. But yeah, always just email is the best. I'm in and out of my office, but I do check email a lot. All right. Thanks, folks. Good luck. Have a good one.